This is Brother Jamal bringing you a another video to you. This is not necessarily live. We are recording this to put it in as many places as we can. So, inshallah, that's what we'll try to do. I know we are in the month of Ramadan. We are towards the end of Ramadan, and we thank Allah for allowing us to be able to fast. We pray that Allah will accept all our du'ats and our good deeds and siyam and all those things that we've been doing this month of Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak. We know that it's been a different Ramadan simply because Allah has given us a test in this month of Ramadan. He's given us a serious test to to see, if we are still, we be as diligent in fasting and doing the things that we're supposed to do in our homes. We have to understand that we get a tremendous reward because of the circumstances and the situation. We have to always remember that Allah knows best in whatever He gives us. There's always a benefit. Number one, He knows best. Number two, there's always a benefit in whatever He gives us. And that's how we have to take this. So fasting, not being able to go to the mosque, not being able to pray Juma on Friday, all of this Allah has given us this first as a test. Then He knows best. And thirdly, there's a benefit in it. We don't know. We can't figure out. That's Allah knows what we know not, and that's the unseen. So just remember that. So we just thank Allah for, inshallah, for allowing us to be able to fast and to do all the things that we supposed to do during this month of Ramadan. As I said, we're coming near the end of the month of Ramadan. The other reason why I wanted to do this recording, inshallah, we pray that we can get this out to as many sites as we can, as many places as we can, because it's serious and people need to take heed to the seriousness of this time that we're living in. Beside the virus, which is a serious thing, nothing to play around with, nothing to mess around with. This is serious business. And the thing is that this kind of leads me into the second part of this talk. It's always a situation where, like I said, Allah give us this virus as a test. We know that. We don't have any doubt about that. But at the same time, the but is not about what Allah has given us as a test. No, it's not that. The but is about the fact that people who are involved in evil doing and evil things, they will take advantage of a time to do more evil things in a situation like this, because people are not really paying that much attention. They're more distracted with the seriousness of the virus, which makes sense. We should be concerned. But at the same time, the evildoers, they see an opportunity to do more things, to do more harm, to do more evil, wicked things during this time. I say that because what I have seen here in the last couple of weeks is more evil acts. The brother who got murdered in Georgia. We just had a situation here in Des Moines where a young black man was attacked by a group of white guys, and he was beat pretty bad. They still are investigating. I guess the investigation is still going on. And let me say, this is just a word of advice to the people who in Georgia and to wherever you may be, when something goes on and something happens. One of the things that I've learned about the movement, about keeping the pressure up, if you start something, Allah knows best, then you have to finish it. You can't start protesting and demonstrating and marching and do it part-time. Part-time is not that don't cut it. And I'm just saying this straight up. I'm speaking from experience and I'm speaking from history. If you start a movement, if you start protests, if you start demonstrating, if you start boycotting, you cannot do it just on the weekend. You can't pick specific days. You have to keep the pressure up. Trust me, that's number one. You have to keep the pressure up. The pressure has to be applied, has to be kept up 24/7, serious, full-time. It's a full-time job. It's no part-time, it's no vacation, it's no absence, no benefit. And you may even lose your life sometime. But I'm saying to the people who are involved in protests, who are involved in demonstration, march, and boycott, when you start something, you have to stay with it. You can't do it on the weekend, let the whole week go by, and then you come back and do it next weekend. No, that's like a disservice. That's a disservice to the movement. It's a disservice to the protest. It's a disservice to the boycott demonstration. If you start something on a Friday, demonstrating, protesting, marching, Saturday, Sunday, and you come back, you got to hit it on Monday. You can't. That's the way it has to be done. That's number one. I'm saying that to the people to encourage you. If you're involved in any kind of protest, it has to be serious enough that you're going to do it all the time. I'll say it again. You cannot be involved in a demonstration, a march, a protest, a boycott, and just think that it's going to work if you do it just a weekend. It doesn't work like that, because you know the other part of that is, the flip side of that is, people will not take serious what you are doing. And then there's no pressure applied. See, the pressure has got to be applied. If the oppression is going on, and it's serious, it's obvious and it's serious, that's what's going on now. If this kind of oppression is going on, then the pressure has to be applied to the oppressor 24/7. You can't let up on the pressure that you apply to the oppressor, or the oppressor. You can't let up on that pressure. You can't. Because if you let up on, that's like somebody having a boot on your neck. As long as they got pressure and they're applying the pressure to your neck, then you're going to suffer. It's not only until you get the boot off of your neck, you relieve the oppression, that you can get some kind of relief and some kind of satisfaction. So I'm saying the pressure in this case on the oppression has to be kept up. It has to be kept up 24/7. That's my point. Let me also say too, this is a reminder for myself and for anyone and everyone who may catch this video, catch this talk. If you have young people in your presence, you can be a grandparent, grandfather, grandmother, aunt, uncle. We have to make sure 100% that we talk to our young people in this day and time. Why do I say that? A point of history. And this is something that I experienced myself. So I'm telling you something that I know from what I went through and what I experienced. Growing up in the South, I know for a fact during that time, black people, black men, black women, black kids could not walk just anywhere, any time of the night, even during the daytime. There was places and things that you couldn't do. We knew this. And so we have to educate our young people today's time that yes, this is 2020, but you know what? Just like it's 2020, this is the same thing that I see occurring today as what I saw occurring in 1950. See, what I saw occur in 1960, the same type of oppression. Oppression, y'all, the same type. So I'm saying we have to talk to our young people and youth, to our girls, to our boys. We have to, even some of the adults, we have to communicate and talk to each other and just kind of go through a whole series of do's and don'ts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you have a right to freedom. But you better ask yourself the question, serious question you ask yourself today's time. You have a right to freedom? Yes, 100% you do. Because freedom lies with Almighty Allah. He's fair and He's just. At the same time, as I said earlier, some people on the heels of this virus, which is serious, some people take advantage of this and do evil things. The evildoers will do more evil things during a time like what we see. And this is what we see going on in today's time. The attack upon, and this is not, when I say